Junior Kelly's legacy was not handed to him. It was carved out of grief, discipline, faith, and years of being overlooked. Long before international audiences sang along to If Love So Nice, he was a young Jamaican artist wrestling with loss, poverty, and a music industry that often ignored conscious voices. His journey is one of quiet endurance, a man who chose principle over hype, message over scandal, and spiritual grounding over commercial shortcuts. Born Keith Morgan on September 23, 1969, in Kingston, Jamaica, he entered the world as the youngest of 5 children in a home where music was not a hobby, but a way of breathing. In the Waltham Park area of Kingston, sound flowed naturally through daily life. His father and grandfather plucked melodies from the banjo, their fingers moving with ease born of tradition, while his mother lifted her voice in church, filling sacred spaces with song. Music surrounded him early, not as performance, but as inheritance. Yet the most powerful influence in Keith's young life was his elder brother, Sylvester Morgan, known in dance hall circles as DJ Jim Kelly. Sylvester wasn't just a sibling, he was a guide, a protector, and a bridge into the world Keith dreamed of. As a popular DJ for the legendary Kilimanjaro sound system, Sylvester carried status and respect, and he brought his little brother along whenever he could. When Keith was just 12 or 13, Sylvester took him into a recording studio for the first time. The hum of equipment, the smell of cables and vinyl, the way voices transformed into permanence, it all left a mark. Then, in 1983, tragedy struck. Sylvester died, and the loss cut deep. For a teenager still forming his identity, the grief was heavy and unresolved. Keith responded the only way he knew how, by holding on. When he later chose the stage name Junior Kelly, it was not branding, it was remembrance. Every time his name was called, it echoed his brother's legacy. Keith attended St. Catherine High School, balancing formal education with a growing pull toward music. Even then, discipline defined him. He wasn't reckless or flashy. He listened more than he spoke, absorbed more than he showed. Shortly after leaving school, he stepped fully into music, recording his debut single, Over Her Body, in 1985, at just 16 years old. The moment should have been triumphant, but the road ahead was far from smooth. The late 1980s and 1990s were years of quiet struggle. Junior Kelly recorded song after song, pouring conviction into his lyrics, yet recognition remained elusive. Tracks like Hungry Days mirrored his reality. Long stretches of financial instability, under-promotion, and industry indifference. At times, survival meant stepping away from the microphone to work construction jobs, his hands roughened by labor even as his voice sharpened with purpose. In 1995, his song Go to Hell challenged political corruption and social decay with unapologetic bluntness. Jamaican radio stations banned it. For some artists, censorship breaks spirits. For Junior Kelly, it clarified his role. He wasn't here to entertain blindly. He was here to confront Babylon, the systems he believed crushed the poor and rewarded the corrupt. Everything changed in 1999. When If Love So Nice was released, it struck a nerve that crossed borders. The song topped Jamaican charts for 13 consecutive weeks, then traveled outward, reaching international audiences hungry for sincerity. After years of hunger and obscurity, the breakthrough felt almost surreal. The same artist once ignored was now being invited onto global stages. With success came opportunity. Junior Kelly signed with VP Records, releasing Love So Nice in 2001, followed by Smile in 2003, an album he largely self-produced, revealing his reputation as a meticulous perfectionist. He wasn't content to sing someone else's vision. He wanted control, clarity, and quality, even if it meant extra pressure. That perfectionism extended beyond music. Away from the studio, he trained rigorously in Shorin Ryu karate, eventually earning a black belt, a reflection of the same discipline that governed his artistry. Control of body, control of sound, control of self. His 2005 album, Tough Life, became a defining statement, cementing his reputation across Europe's reggae festival circuit. Later works like Red Pond 2010, Piece of the Pie 2013, and Urban Poet 2015 showed growth without compromise. Roots reggae infused with soul, conscience, and lived experience. Spiritually, Junior Kelly walks as a Bobo Ashanti Rastafarian. His faith is not decorative, it is central. His lyrics preach social justice, moral responsibility, and spiritual awareness. He deliberately positioned himself between traditional roots reggae and modern dancehall, often rejecting digital rhythms in favor of live instrumentation, choosing authenticity over trends. Despite his visibility, he remains fiercely private. Details about romantic relationships are intentionally scarce. What is known is that he is a father to at least one son, whom he once mentioned spends plenty of time with modern technology, an observation offered without judgment, just reflection. He speaks often of chosen family, saying friends of over 10 years are as close as blood, and that he values counsel from a tight inner circle. Financially, Junior Kelly's estimated net worth of around $1 million as of 2025 reflects steady success rather than excess. He has recorded over 500 songs, written and produced much of his own catalog, and relies heavily on royalties from his intellectual property. His true wealth lies in ownership of music, message, and self. Controversy has followed him at times, mostly tied to his outspoken views. His political critiques, religious stance on homosexuality, and refusal to soften his beliefs have made him polarizing. Yet, he has largely avoided scandal, famously rejecting the idea of using personal drama to sell records. Within the industry, he is known as intense, moody, and uncompromising, but always serious about craft. Based in Kingston, Jamaica, with roots stretching from Waltham Park Road to Spanish Town, Junior Kelly lives grounded. He invests more in studio equipment and creative control than public displays of wealth. His most valuable asset remains his catalog, songs born from loss, faith, resistance, and love. And while his name is often mistakenly linked to R. Kelly, Junior Kelly's story stands apart, untouched by scandal, anchored in conscience, and shaped by a lifelong refusal to bend his truth. His legacy is not just in hits or albums, it lives in the voice of a boy who lost his brother, a man who refused silence, and an artist who turned hardship into harmony, one uncompromising song at a time.